this video, I'll be showing you how to shred cheese. Why do we shred our mozzarella cheese? Shred our mozzarella cheese so that we can have the best quality ingredients for the best quality pizza with no added chemicals. What's in our mozzarella cheese, you ask? Two things, 100% whole milk and a culture to make it actually cheese. These high ingredient costs, plus the labor it costs to shred the cheese, is the reason we are so hard about no waste, because every cent counts, especially when it's this expensive. We shred our cheese daily, up to 5 buckets, 6 buckets, and we go through around 500 pounds a week of cheese. You're gonna need a cutting board and a knife, which is here and here. We're also gonna need the shredder appliance, which is right here on the shelf. The guard, the shredder, the wheel, and the base. So to repeat, we have 4 parts to the shredder: the base, the shredder wheel, the turner, and the guard. When putting together the shredder appliance and the wheel, you need to make sure that it concaves in and that those holes are out, poking out. You put them all in there and turn so it locks. When taking it off, hold firmly and then pull it so that the screws are able to pop out like this. And the shredder appliance needs to have it where the holes are poking out instead of the side that it's flat on. Again, to put it on, align the holes and turn. Now we're going to start setting up the cheese shredder on the machine. We need to make sure our work area is clean. So we're going to move the dough bowl. Next, we want to put the base of the shredder into the appliance, making sure we align this hole with this hole so it goes in perfectly. Then you want to tighten this to secure it to the machine and so it won't fall out. Now we're going to put the pre-assembled shredder wheel in. First we're going to make sure to lift this up and then put this end into the hole of the base and spin it around till it goes in fully like this. So again, we're going to hold this up till it's all the way in, put this side into the shredder and turn it till it aligns on the outside of the shredder and it goes in all the way. And to take it out once you're done with the cheese, you're going to lift up, go under, push it out, and pull. So again, I'm going to put it on, hold it up, put it in, and apply pressure until it goes all the way in. The guard on. Now we're going to put the guard on by aligning these holes with the holes of the base. Pressing down, lifting up this latch on the base, and closing it. So we put the latch down to close it so that it doesn't fly out when we're shredding cheese. To determine how many buckets of cheese we're going to need to shred, we must look at how much we already have and determine from there. So we usually shred up to 6 buckets of cheese, so we're going to need 4 more to shred. Here are the 4 buckets, which we'll have right here, along with the lids that we put on top afterwards. Next, we're going to need a folding stand to put the bucket of cheese on, which we have right here. The bucket needs to be placed as to where this is fully over the bucket and that the stand is holding all the bucket so it won't tip over when it's filled with cheese. Start shredding cheese. Now that we have our 4 blocks of cheese, our cutting board and a knife, our shredder is set up with our bucket firmly underneath, and our bucket's ready for our next one. You're going to hold the ends and cut away from yourself to avoid hurting yourself. cut along here so that you can rip the plastic away and take it out. And you have a full block of cheese. And you're gonna put it in the middle and firmly press down. So you have 2 halves. And you're gonna put it on each side of the bucket so that one doesn't tip over.
Alright? You don't need to work fast, also just do your regular speed up.
Next, let's bundle up the trash and throw it away. Then we're going to grab a large plate to put on the side of the cheese shredder to block cheese from flying out. We're going to put it firmly on the right side of the shredder. From the time of deciding to shred cheese to now should only take 5 minutes. First, we're going to put the cheese in while it's off. Close the hatch, and then check the speed to make sure it's speed 2, and then press start. Now imagine if you forgot to check the speed on the shredder and it's still number 1 or different. You need to make sure you turn off the shredder and then turn it to number 2. Here's when you press too hard. And here's when you press not enough. Okay, in shredding cheese, this is what happens when you don't press hard enough. It comes out little clumps, which is not good for making pizzas. When you press too hard, it becomes too thick, which makes it look like not enough cheese when you're saucing a pizza and making you put on more, which is wasteful. And then when you press just right, it should be correct and perfect for making pizzas. So when shredding cheese, you need to make sure to always check your product and make sure it's not too thin, not too thick, and it's just right. So ultimately, you need to press harder or lighter according to what you find so you get the right product that we need for our pizzas. When you finish 1 block of cheese, make sure to grab one from the other side so that all blocks of cheese are even, so we don't have a lopsided bucket and it all falls over, wasting 100% of the cheese. Now we're gonna put the next one in at the back of the other thing, at the other cheese block, so we can press it through and keep shredding. Every time it gets to this mountain of cheese in the middle, you need to make sure to turn off the shredder and fix it so that it doesn't clump up in the shredder and just build and build into one solid block.
Go ahead.
Now the entire bucket is shredded, and now we need to go inside the shredder, but I need to emphasize that the shredder is off so you do not hurt yourself. We're gonna open it up, and there's gonna be clumps of cheese left over that we need to break up, grab and break up into tiny pieces so it doesn't make a bad bucket of cheese under the line. Now it's all out. Okay, then we're gonna take apart the shredder. I'm gonna take apart the shredder and get out all the cheese. We're gonna completely take it apart. Once we get all the cheese out of the guard, we're gonna lift up and get it out. Put it to the side to be taken to the dish station later. Then we're gonna go under, pull out the cheese shredder apart. Now we're gonna lift this up so we can pull out the cheese shredder. We're gonna go under, push it out, and then grab it so it comes all the way out. You're gonna hold it over the cheese shredder, hold it firmly, and pull so that you can take off the face of the shredder like this, and get all the cheese so that there's no waste whatsoever. Okay, so now all the cheese is going from there. Some cheese left to it. Okay, we're gonna get the cheese out from in here. Then we're gonna unscrew this till about here and firmly wiggle and pull. Now we're gonna put the top on the cheese and take it into the walk-in. Very good. We need to make sure that the old buckets are on top, and then the new bucket we just shredded is on bottom, so that we have a first in, first out method. Okay, I'm just gonna move this stuff so that I can. Okay, so we're gonna move the older buckets to the top. Place the one we just shredded underneath.
Go ahead.
Once you're done with all of your cheese and the cheese is put away properly, you're gonna take your equipment to the dish station to be cleaned by you. Okay, so we're gonna grab. Might take 2 trips. We need to respect our equipment, so you don't want to throw it into the sink. You're gonna carefully place it in there and get the rest so that you can wash it immediately. Once brought here, whoever's the dishwasher will clean it, and if there is no dishwasher, it is your responsibility to clean it immediately. Okay? Now I'll show you how to clean it. You can get the sprayer and spray off all the residue from the metal. And put it in the tray to be sanitized in the dishwasher. 2. It might take 2 dish loads to clean. But once it's all clean, you're gonna put it in here, have it sanitized, and put it back from where you found it. Now that we have most of it in and we have this left over, we're gonna put this in with other dishes. It doesn't need to go in by itself, so we don't have to waste space in the dishwasher. Now that the equipment and cheese is put away, it's time to clean up our station. So we're gonna take the folding chair and put it back in its location. Take the cutting board and knife to dishes and sanitize the machine and the table. No matter what job you do or what surface you use, you need to use the proper sanitization method to clean every table that you use. Refer to that training if you need help. Shredding each bucket should take you around 4 minutes, give or take, plus the amount of time it takes you to cut up the logs of cheese. But if it's taking you any longer than that, you need to figure out what is wrong, because it shouldn't be taking you that long. Just to emphasize, every time we shred cheese, we need to move the old ones up top and the new ones underneath, so that we are using the oldest cheese first. From the big bucket of cheese, we usually fill up these small buckets of cheese for underneath the line, so we can use them during the dinner shift, and we usually keep an average of 6 buckets of cheese down there. After each shift, morning and evening, we need to make sure that we have 6 buckets of cheese minimum down here, so that for the next shift, they have cheese to work with. If you're in the middle of shredding cheese and you need to go, you need to put away if no one can take over for you, you need to put away the cheese so it doesn't get soft, and take off the shredder and put it in the fridge too, so that the cheese inside doesn't get soft.